What's going on, guys? It's Danish here again, bringing you another post-match analysis with the RedsPost. And come on, guys, who thinks we should have won that game? What was it like? 100 shots, 5 million on target. We should have won that game against Burnley, right? Now, all I want to say is we dominated both outings. We had something crazy like 73% possession, and we all know possession is the stat that we hate the most because of the Van Gaal era. But we had 73% possession at home against Burnley, a team who have not won on the road this year. And I don't think they've got even a draw. We're the first point they've got on road this year. How atrocious is that? To even say that they've come here and taken a draw from us. But going off topic a bit, we dominated both outings, yeah? We had 73% possession at the end of the total game. We had something crazy like over 30 shots and over like 10 on target, and we still couldn't finish. But I think we played well in both halves. You know, I can't even say we played well, because it wasn't like an average performance where, you know, we were sitting back, letting them attack and hitting them on the counter. Obviously not, because we're playing Burnley. And it wasn't even like we were playing for a draw, anything like that, yeah. Because obviously we wanted to win at home, and we were just playing Burnley, man, Burnley. But either way, we were absolutely thrashing them. There were times when we were so lethal on the attack that we had Burnley pinned back in their own box, not even their own half, their own box, for the most of the first half, and then the most of the second half as well. We were totally dominating the game. The only times they hit us was because of their pace with Andre Gray on the counter, and even then we fizzled them out. The whole team played well today. It was just the finishing that let us down. So yeah, I totally believe that we dominated both outings, and if we keep putting in performances like that and then finishing our chances, listen, I don't care who says anything, we would win every game, and we should have won this game, to be honest, with the possession stats, everything. What else did we have? We had something stupid like 20 corners or something like that. And remember how lethal we were against Leicester? We put away 3 of the corners in the first half, and this is Burnley, and we couldn't even put away 1 out of 20. Now on to the topic of Mark Clattenburg. I think it was Mark Clattenburg who was refereeing the match, and whoever the officials were, because when Darmian went down in the first half, I think I really believe that was in the box. But either way, whether it was in the box or outside of the box, that was a foul at the very least. Play should have been stopped, and we should have had a penalty or free kick on the edge of the box. But yet, Ander Herrera gets a red card in the second half. Referees need to step their game up when Manchester United are involved, because their decisions are costing us games. Or not in this case where it's not cost us the game, but it's cost us an extra 2 points. Because we could have had a penalty, or at least look at the position we could have had a free kick in. That would have been awesome for someone like Pogba or Zlatan to stay on the edge of the box and just lamp it in from the edge of the box. But I hands down believe at the very least it was a foul. And again, referees have done us. The referee has done us again, and it's just atrocious. And to think that we could have gone up in the first half 1-0 due to either the free kick or the penalty, but it ends 0-0. Why? Because of a terrible refereeing decision. It's atrocious. Now guys, be patient, because I don't think this loss was Jose Mourinho's fault, and it wasn't. Whoever says that, I was looking on Twitter, flicking through Twitter during the game and after the game, and people are like, Jose Mourinho needs to do this, Jose Mourinho needs to do that. That was not his fault. Yeah? Jose Mourinho tactically dominated this game. Yeah? The only time they hit us was with their pace on the counter. But what did they do? We had 73% possession with like 5 million shots. Yeah, that is the fault of the players that they can't finish their chances. That's not Jose Mourinho's fault. Even though he got sent to the stands, that's not his fault for showing his passion to the official. The official who bloody can send our manager to the stands, but he can't send Sean Dyche when Sean Dyche's having a right fit on the bloody touchline. But be patient with Jose, because if anyone's to take us out of this, it's going to be him. And the thing is, our record in the Premier League is 4 wins, 3 defeats, and 3 draws. So it's not that bad at the moment. People can start getting impatient when the results look 4 wins, 3 draws, and 27 defeats. Yeah, that's when people can get overhyped about things. But at the moment, it's not Jose Mourinho's fault. The fault of us drawing today at home is the players, because you should have seen the fans as well. The fans were going absolutely mental. The fans, this is why I love being a Manchester United fan, because our fan base is the best in the world. The fans were absolutely pushing the team on, but the team we just couldn't find that in the box. We just couldn't get that thing that could click for us. Yeah, and I gotta say, man, football is a game of luck at times, because Burnley got very lucky. The fact that Tom Heaton was bloody on form today and Mata hit the post, they were just so lucky today. But that's why I'm saying Jose Mourinho is not to blame for this not defeat, draw, and we are going to bounce back from this. Listen, after watching that game, all I can say is Zlatan should have had 3 at the very least. That guy, at the moment, some United fans, or the majority of United fans, I don't know, I may get a lot of backlash for this, but maybe nobody agrees with me as a matter of fact, but I believe that if Michael Carrick, at his age, needs to be managed, then why is Zlatan playing every game, week in, week out, day in, day out? Is it not the same that if Michael Carrick is going to get managed for his age, yeah, and he's going to come in one game, go out one game, maybe not play, maybe miss 2 games, play 1 game, then why should Zlatan not be doing that? I think, in my opinion, it would be much better if we started Rashford up front and Martial on the left. Because at the moment, Zlatan is providing us with no goals. Obviously, he keeps dropping very deep, which is one of the problems. But also, when he's at the top, chances that you expect Zlatan to put away with finesse, he's rocketing them into the stands, into Rose Ed. I can still see, when I look through my telescope, at Jupiter, and the ball's still in orbit, Premier League ball in orbit around Jupiter. So this guy is one of the reasons that we are not scoring goals. And today, I think, should be a justification why he should be dropped for the Swansea game. If not Fenerbahce, or if we play someone else at Fenerbahce, then at the very least in the Premier League he should be dropped against Swansea, because he is not providing us with no threat on that goal. He's providing us with a threat, but he's not providing us with no goals. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I'd rather have goals than just a mere threat. And Zlatan, all he's providing is a threat. Obviously, Tom Heaton had some just everybody turns world class. Everybody puts in a shift when they play Man United. That's just the thing we've got to live by, because, you know, we just the bar we've set for ourselves. But either way, all that aside, you know, whether Tom Heaton was saving the shots or not, Zlatan should have scored. He should have, because he's played against better world class keepers than Tom Heaton, and he's put them away. He's played against better defenses than he's playing against now, and he scored. But I think I'm not gonna jump the gun and say he's obviously lost it. I'm not gonna say that. All I'm saying is maybe he needs to be dropped for a game, see whether Rashford or Martial up front is a better option than Ibrahimovic in faster paced games. I don't know, maybe we should at least what's the word, exhaust that option. We should just see if we can do it without Zlatan. Where do we go from here? Obviously, now looking at the fixtures we've got, this should have been one of the ones that we won. Never should have been a one that we lost, and obviously it shouldn't have, as it turned out to be, it shouldn't have been a draw. We should have won the game, but where do we go from here? We have to, and I think we will win against Fenerbahce away. But that's not the main aim now. We have to win against Swansea and just hope that our rivals drop points. We'll still probably be 6 points behind or something like that, 5 points behind the leaders, but we have to win against Swansea and we have to hope that they drop points to be in a shout of the title race, because we've got the Christmas period coming up, the November period, and you know, at the moment I'm not going into any ties saying that we've got this, because I did the same thing with Burnley and look what happened, we drew at home against him. So at the moment it's good. We've only had in the past 9 games, we've only had one loss. That was to Chelsea, and so that's a good thing. But now we need to start winning. We need to stop looking at we're not losing. We need to start winning, and hopefully Mourinho will do that, and I think he will. Now it's time for the player ratings, and I'm going to start off as I do with the goalkeeper. I'm going to go with David De Gea as 7 out of 10, simply because he never had much to do in the game. Not as far as I can remember. All I can remember is a few misguided or just a few poorly hit shots. They just went straight into David's arms. Anything he did, anytime he dived for a shot, his posts were always clear. He put in a shift whenever he did come into action, and that was rarely the occasion. It was rarely something that happened during the game because we were so dominant in their half, and they hit us on a couple of counters and half of them didn't even get to David. So I give him a 7 out of 10, simply because when he did come into action he did good, and mostly he wasn't in action, so I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Darmian, I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10. I don't know whether it was something that Jose told him, but in the first half I don't remember Darmian overlapping. It was almost as though he was just staying back. He was like, when you have Valencia, he's always overlapping. He's always providing the winger or the midfielder with an option of an overlapping attacker, and that was something that Darmian didn't do until maybe the second half, I think, or he rarely did it during the game. And defensively he was sound, he was okay. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10, nothing too special. Blind, I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10 because whenever they did counter us, Andre Gray did have a few chances on him, but he'd always come back and cover, and he'd always have that technical prowess over the opponent, because he knew what they were going to do before they did it, and he was always in a good position to deal with it. And obviously the clean sheet means he gets an 8 out of 10. Also Rojo, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Could give him an 8 really, because he did the same as Blind, but there were just a few times when he looked a bit shaky. But I think our defense was solid today. I'll go with Shaw as an 8 out of 10, simply because he was providing that. He was good defensively, and he was always providing that attacking option of the overlapping run, and that's why I give him an 8 out of 10, because he looked solid today as well. I'm going to move on to Paul Pogba. Put in a shift today. I could have given him a 9 out of 10. He played so good. He could have got like 25 assists today. Damn, I heard the mic there. He could have got about 25 assists today. The guy played absolutely out of his mind. He was pinging balls to Ibrahimovic just like that. That's why I think Ibrahimovic should have scored so many goals. But he was playing absolutely awesome in that midfield, so I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Herrera, I'd give him a higher rating than a 6 out of 10, but I'll give him a 6 out of 10 because he got sent off. Now, if he didn't get sent off, I think we could have won the game. But even then, we looked sound with 10 men. It was just a poor refereeing decision, to be honest. Not a poor refereeing decision, but there's nothing more Clattenburg could have done. But Herrera, he slipped into whoever he slipped into. I totally forgot, but it wasn't his fault. He couldn't have pulled out the tackle at that time either. So it's just a heat of the moment thing. Mata, I'll go with an 8 out of 10. The guy played awesome. The little genius. He's really good. Whenever he attacks, he gives us that option. He's always got a great pass on him. He's always slipping through, finding them pockets of space. Always getting Ibrahimovic into space, and Ibrahimovic obviously can't finish at the moment. I'll go with Lingard as a 7 out of 10 because he played good, but sometimes he looked shaky when he was tracking back, and he didn't provide us too much when we were attacking. I mean, the right side was the poorest of the sides. I think the left side is where we had the most like everything coming from. And then I'll go with Rashford as an 8 out of 10. He played really good, put in some solid balls, put in a shift on that side. Every time he made a run, he was always on side, getting the ball into him, then making them early runs where the defender doesn't spot him. He was always getting in and behind the defence, putting in some solid balls for Ibrahimovic. And now moving on to Ibrahimovic, I give him a 5 out of 10, simply because he got in a few good passes. Otherwise, I give him a 3 out of 10 because the amount of shots that dropped for him and he didn't finish. Anybody could. If we had Andre Gray on our team, we would have won that game 5-0 for the chances that dropped to Ibrahimovic. Ibrahimovic did not even finish one. They were peaches. I don't know whether it's a lack of confidence or what, but he's just not finishing, so I'll give him a 5 out of 10. Overall, I'd give the squad an 8 out of 10, simply for the fact that we put in a shift, and it's just Ibrahimovic, he can't bring the whole squad down, and he can't, like, just because of his finishing, it's just not fair. And pack that with a bit of luck for Burnley, it's just...